Hello friends, it's Dee, about to react to this vid. This is 10 minutes of Max Kellerman being blacker than Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith get on my goddamn nerves, okay? And if this the white dude that be like talking with him, I feel like I heard somewhere that he tried to get this dude fired, or maybe he got him fired or something like that. I might be thinking of another situation, but I feel like it had to do with these two. Not exactly sure though. Anyway, let's see Max being blacker than this fool. Let's watch.
I'm in the streets. Max almost seems blacker than you, Stephen A. with his coming, with this.
Meanwhile, breaking news: Sacramento Kings new big man Zach
Randolph
was arrested and charged with marijuana possession with intent to sell by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department on Wednesday night, according to police reports. Stephen A., talk to me.
Why would he?
I'm shocked.
Why would he sell weed?
I'm a fan of Zach Randolph. I'm shocked at the stupidity
in the NBA.
Of him finding himself in this situation.
Shut up. Weed is legal.
About the weed just yet. But this is an individual that has made well over $150 million in his career. I find it very difficult to believe that he was intending to sell. But in the end, it's inexcusable that he found himself in this position.
Anyone with half a brain knows Zach Randolph. Let me go out on a limb here. Zach Randolph wasn't intending to sell weed. Okay, the profit margins wouldn't be enough for it to be worth his time, considering what he makes in the...
Niggas be broke selling weed. I know some broke ass niggas who sell weed. It's like, why do you even bother? Like, go up to crack or something. Like, Jesus, you ain't making no money.
The NBA. Everyone use your head. That has nothing to do with anything. That's because they can say that the intent was there based on the amount he bought, which should be nobody's business.
Period.
But
especially in LA where it's legal.
You focus on the fact that the athlete was stupid because they
it's
know
what
they were jeopardizing and they did it anyway. And I focus on the fact that the drug laws, particularly as they apply to marijuana, are based on nothing more than lies and propaganda.
Yes.
Should not
Preach.
That's not good enough. You just signed a 2-year, $24 million deal to go to the Sacramento Kings. So you are en route to Cali, okay? That's where you are about to play. And you can't wait. You don't sit up there and blemish the league. You don't blemish your future employer. You don't blemish yourself because you can't control and discipline yourself when you know what the damn law is. I'm not saying that it's right. I get your point about alcohol and weed. I get all of that. I understand it. You don't hear me saying anything about Snoop Dogg. All I'm saying to you, Max, is this. Don't give me, oh, the law is stupid, so you know what?
It is.
I understand it, but I'm saying don't give it to me as an excuse for them breaking it. You can't break it, Max. You don't get to do that.
And arcane. Stephen A., it's so stupid and arcane, it's often flouted.
So let me ask you a question.
Many people are choosing
Are you breaking laws? No, don't be hypocritical. Are you breaking laws? Are you breaking laws? I know there's stupid laws out there. Are you breaking those stupid laws?
Yes.
Speeding?
Yes, I do. And so do you. And so, wait a minute.
Speeding.
And so do you, and I'll give you an example. I've been trying to say this for 5 minutes. Let me get a word in here. Do you jaywalk in California? You've been in LA and jaywalk?
Absolutely.
Yeah, once or twice.
Against the law. It's against the law. You can get a ticket for that. In fact, it's more dangerous for you than marijuana. If someone gets a ticket for jaywalking,
are you ready
if
for
an
that?
NBA
No,
gets
Max.
a ticket for jaywalking, are you going to go on TV and yell at him?
Oh, no, let me tell you this right now. Oh, you going to... Let me ask you a question. If I jaywalk, does that sully the reputation of ESPN? Does it sully the reputation of my employer or myself?
Wait a minute. The only reason marijuana does is because people like you demonize it out of proportion.
So in other words,
sully your name anymore than jaywalking?
Colin Kaepernick has been working out all of this time. Him, people in this camp, his close ones, loved ones, everybody talking about he wants to play football. He wants to play football. He's ready to play. Just give him the chance. This man wanted the chance. 25 teams show up in Georgia at the Atlanta Falcons practice facility, state-of-the-art facility, NFL personnel, equipment, everything, video, everything. And what does Colin Kaepernick do? Not Tuesday, when he found out about it. Not Wednesday, not Thursday, not Friday. Saturday. 3 hours before the workout. Because of some issue with a liability waiver. Colin Kaepernick wants to change the venue. Colin Kaepernick wants his own receivers. Colin Kaepernick wants to video things himself. Colin Kaepernick wants the media. This Colin Kaepernick, media can't find him. He ain't done no interviews. He ain't talked to nobody. Media can't find him, but he wants to do it. He wants the media available now.
This man. Speak on it, Max. What you gotta say?
You see.
He be tap
He don't want
dancing.
to play.
He be tap dancing.
He wants to be a martyr.
Any reasonable person to the same conclusion.
Speak
All
on
reasonable
that.
people to the same conclusion. The first piece of information is now what I told you yesterday has been confirmed by independent sources. It was not a standard waiver. That was in dispute. The NFL disputed it. It was not the same waiver that normally you sign. It's a waiver with language that was more vague and could be interpreted in such a way as Kaepernick is forfeiting rights, which he'd be doing on the altar of a look-see from the team, right? That's one. And the second one is Kaepernick's people are saying, we were given a heads up by none of the teams, right? Like, it's not even like one team, hey, this is going to happen. We were blindsided by the NFL, like, hey, this is happening right now. It is their conclusion, therefore, that this is not coming from any of the teams, as has been reported, but is in fact coming from the NFL, this workout. So if you believe that, then you put those two pieces of new information together, and you're led inevitably to the conclusion that this whole thing was a way for the NFL to smuggle in, Trojan horse style, a waiver that Kaepernick would sign, signing away his rights. Recall, I couldn't figure out why this was done this way. Why so mysteriously? Why did it have to be on a Saturday? Why couldn't the date move? Why did he have almost no time to respond? Was it an ultimatum? Why couldn't he have his own camera people there? The whole thing, right? Why didn't they provide a list of personnel when they agreed that they would? Suddenly they won't. All these questions. Why all of a sudden? I couldn't figure it out. Also, the Kaepernick issue was largely dead. Why is the NFL bringing it back up? And what I said at the time was, it's one of two things. Either an enormous piece of business, like something to do with the CBA that I couldn't imagine, or some kind of litigation. As it turns out, it is pretty clearly the case, in my view, that it's litigation. The NFL did this dog and pony show in order for Kaepernick to sign away his rights. That was the point of this. In this country, these things are seen far too often along racial lines. And if you see African-American people speaking about this, it feels as though that it's a racially segregated issue, which it is in many respects, unfortunately, because anyone who is socially conscious can see what's going on.
Yes, Max.
And by the way, he led. Colin Kaepernick showed leadership, because a lot of others have followed his lead.
Yes.
But what happens when someone shows leadership, and this even you see it in labor relations? You know who never got paid? Kurt Flood. You know who got paid because of Kurt Flood? Everyone else. It's very possible what we're seeing now is the sacrifice of Colin Kaepernick's career on the altar of social and racial progress.
Yes.
And when he doesn't get a job, and I did not come out right away when they said blackballed, right? I did not come out right away. Max, preach. Yes, that's what's happening, because I thought he's looking for a starting job. Maybe he's seen as a bubble starter, you got to change your offense, he'll get a backup job. But now the results are in, the evidence is in. He does not have a starting job, he does not have a backup job. Well, 31 of the owners are old white men, right? And precisely the issue that Colin Kaepernick is protesting is systematic racial injustice, which starts with the international slave trade, the Middle Passage, the institution of slavery, Reconstruction, Jim Crow, ongoing systematic oppression, which has created racial imbalance in terms of social justice. That's essentially what Colin Kaepernick is protesting.
Speak, Brother Max.
That then an almost exclusively white club of owners, because unless you believe that black people are intrinsically inferior at making money, I guess that's not true, right? Unless you believe that, then you also understand that the fact that the NFL is an all-white club at the ownership level, essentially, is a result of that injustice. Think of the irony that he doesn't have a job, partly because he's protesting the very reason that right now he doesn't have a job.
Listen.
Present company included, Stephen A., whether you or I like it or not, is the best thing on television. This guy is my favorite of all time. And by the way, sometimes we go at him if we disagree with him. Charles, Chuck, this is the definition of player hating. You, sir, are the definition at this moment of a player hater. Lay on the ground. You've been right. Are you joking?
Wait, what? I don't know what's happening here.
I mean, this is, let me get this straight.
All right, Biggie.
Am I
Biggie
wrong?
Max.
That's right.
Biggie Max.
Pick someone Chuck's size. That's right. Listen, am I wrong?
I don't know what he was talking about right there, but it sounds funny. You better speak on it, Max, because is Steven doing it? No. He too busy, you know, tap dancing and shucking and jiving when he can. But Max out here spitting facts. Snoop was like, yes, preach, preach. I don't know much about sports at all, so, you know, I'm very limited about what he's referring to. But, you know, of course, I know about the Kaepernick situation, and they explain what happened with old boy intending to sell weed. Who the fuck trying to sell weed and make some real money? Nobody who got any common sense. No shade if you sell weed out there. I would suggest getting another job. But this nigga's in the NBA. Like, he's not doing that, so that's so stupid. But, yeah, I appreciate Max speaking up. Interesting video. Y'all let me know what y'all thought. Let me know what other videos you want me to watch, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye!